Hello everyone, in the previous class, we primarily discussed seamless interfaces, seamless steps, and overlay interfaces. You all made significant improvements to your respective formats in accordance with these concepts.
In today's class, we will continue discussing commonly used device interfaces. The first interface to discuss is the embedded interface. An embedded interface displays hidden information within a confined page space. Due to its ability to fold and unfold like an accordion, it is also known as an accordion-style interface. When we want to retain the original page while displaying additional information or showing a large list at once, we use this type of interface. The embedded interface can expand both upwards and downwards, making it suitable for devices with limited screen space, such as smartphones. This image shows the embedded interface for a smartphone. You can see the page only displays the product title, while the detailed content remains collapsed within the page. Users can expand the content as needed. Multiple lists can be expanded simultaneously. After seeing this example, I believe you are all familiar with embedded interfaces, as we often come across them in apps and websites. As we mentioned earlier, the collapsible feature of an embedded interface allows us to conserve space. When designing, we have the flexibility to keep the expanded embedded interface open without the need to close it. Users can scroll through the page while it remains expanded, or they can directly navigate to other pages without any interference. This provides a convenient and seamless user experience, allowing for quick and effortless interactions. It is worth mentioning that embedded interfaces can support the expansion of multiple lists simultaneously. However, some embedded interfaces have limitations where only one list can be expanded at a time. The former may make the page appear cluttered but allows for the display of more information. The latter, although only allowing a single list to be expanded, ensures that the page remains organized. Each approach has its pros and cons. It is up to you to consider how to design based on the contents of your own page. Now let's take a look at some commonly used styles for embedded interfaces that you can take inspiration from. The most commonly used symbol is the small triangle arrow. Here, I want to remind you that when a list is expanded, it should visually indicate what has been pressed. This can be achieved by adding a background color using special symbols, or bolding the text and changing its color. These visual cues of selection will create a sense of hierarchy in the interface. The second point to note is that the small triangle symbol in the embedded interface should have two states, open and closed. Pay attention to the details and ensure that these states are clearly distinguishable. Some interfaces may also use other graphical elements such as double layers, small dots for their design. Embedded interfaces are also commonly used in calendar interfaces or in hierarchical options. The purpose of using them in these cases is to save space while providing users with a smooth operational experience. Next, let's talk about another interface, the infinite scroll interface. The infinite scroll interface is a type of interface where you can continuously scroll the page and new content will be displayed as you scroll. Once you reach the end, it automatically loads the next page to continue showing fresh content. Or you can choose an option like Load More to display additional content. This type of interface is suitable for organizing large amounts of information and is often used to display lists of search results. Typically, new content is obtained through online connections, so it is not possible to browse the interface offline. As long as you keep scrolling through the page, new search results will continue to appear on the interface.
Let's take a moment to recall what loading icons you can think of.
The most commonly used one is the three dots, as shown in the image on the right. When loading, The dots usually exhibit a dynamic effect of appearing at once. Another common loading icon is a circle enclosed by bolded dashed lines, which has a similar animation to the three dots. As modern app interfaces become more refined, there are also many other designs for loading icons. Now I will show you some excellent examples. One of your homework assignments would be to design a loading page, so while reviewing these examples, think about which designs can be borrowed and incorporated into your own works. First, take a look at this animated image. It features the same common elements of three dots and a circle, but with slight modifications, it creates a different effect. These animated images utilize gradients and water drop-like animations respectively. By incorporating some careful and thoughtful design elements, they transform ordinary circles into something more visually appealing. Next, let's explore some examples involving dots. There are animations of dots expanding and shrinking, forming new shapes, and even some patterns converging. In short, there are countless possibilities for variation. Of course, the loading icons can also be tailored to reflect the specific content of the app. For instance, they can be designed to resemble an electrocardiogram graph. Feel free to unleash your imagination in the design process. However, remember that the loading icons for infinite scroll interfaces should not be overly complex. Simple and elegant designs with a touch of creativity will suffice. Also, remember to maintain consistency in color and style with the overall theme of the app. Sometimes a major inconvenience with the infinite scroll interface is the difficulty of implementing the back button. You may have experienced this yourself. When you have scrolled through a long page and pressed the back button, you typically return to the initial original page without any scroll progress saved. After returning to the initial state, if your intended target is located on a page that appeared after scrolling, you will need to scroll again to the exact position to get back to where you were. This issue is not something that can be easily solved at a technical level. Therefore, a more suitable approach is to open the back page in a new window or overlay interface. This requires us to design a seamless and continuous content display interface. When we click on a content item while sliding, we should be able to easily return to the position where we left off before the click.
Take a look at these two examples below, which both use overlay interfaces to convey the design of the continuous content display.
The advantage of this design is that, after viewing the details page, we don't have to slide back to the position we were at before. Instead, we can continue browsing from where we left off.
Okay, that's all for today. Please take the time to thoroughly understand and digest the content before moving on to refining your app interface.
1. Add embedded interfaces. Pay attention to the sense of hierarchy in the visuals and the changing states of the icons. 2. Design loading interfaces with a 5-second animation effect. 3. Add seamless and continuous content display interfaces. Optimize based on the previous page design.